Your hand if you were here in the past to have a mentor retreat feast at the palace. Anybody? Okay, you don't want to miss that, everybody. And like, if you had lunch, I'm really sorry. But you know, when next year you'll know better. Right, Butter, bro? Butter said, yes. We're going to bring you lunch. I said, yeah, but a little bit. They brought it. I divided it in half and said, come on, cool. This is the Friday night dinner at the palace. No way. So then, and then at 8 o'clock we have our traditional bonfire. This year we've invited His Holiness Varshana Swami to come and speak with us. I'm not sure if it's New Vrindaban Leela or Chaitanya Leela or Prabhupada Leela, but whatever it is, it's going to be great, I'm sure. He's a moving, wonderful Krishna conscious storyteller. Then right on back to the temple, we take rest starting at tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock. So there's more details are up there. We've got some really wonderful presenters. Gopal Hari Prabhu has not arrived yet, but he's coming with us. He'll be presenting tomorrow. Women, men, and Maya. Decide which category you're in. Leave that up to you. Mahatma Prabhu is going to lead a wonderful session chanting good japa through thick and thin. Anybody been around Krishna conscious for 24 hours or more? Raise your hand. Okay, those of you that have, we know that it's thick and thin. Trying to maintain spiritual life, it's not. Prabhupada says some places it's very easy. Right? Other places he says is very difficult. He says both those in different contexts. So Mahatma Prabhu is going to help us understand how to change up and to get through that. Yadunath Prabhu, the wonderful monk, he's a dramatist, thespian, is the leader of the 26 Second Avenue Originalist Temple in New York City, and also a professional comedian. So he has an hour and a half. I'm not sure. Before he's come and just gives short kind of comedy relief sections for many years. This year has a topic, into the moment and out of our minds. It sounds like a very serious topic to me. So I'm not sure what he means, what he's going to do, but I know that's going to be very entertaining. And tomorrow night, we have the drama by Bhakti Mark Swami and the Toronto Players, and the title of the drama, again, is not written.
Witness Gopal.
Witness Gopal.
Wow.
Well, familiar with the story, but you haven't seen the story till you see Mirage and the Toronto Players perform it. And Gorvani is here, and I happen to know in the last 6 years, Gorvani's schedule is not getting easier or lighter, and he probably had about 20 minutes of rest before he jumped in the car with my friend Gurudas, who's back in the corner, and we drove up from Washington, D.C., and he's turning right around and heading back, so we're really grateful for Gorvani. A lot of demands on his kirtan time. He'll be leading kirtan tomorrow evening and probably 1 or 2 in the morning session, morning hours. And then Kalakanta Prabhu has not arrived yet, but he's on his way. He's going to be talking the last session about how to establish men's groups. He's had some success with that a lot of times we leave here thinking, well, how do we keep this going? So that's going to be kind of the focus of that presentation. And lots of other things.
You're in Vrindaban, but not you're in the room.
Correct. Oh, he is in New Vrindaban.
Yes,
Right. Okay, great. Fantastic. And then more details are here. In the first couple of years, hard to remember is we really packed in the schedule. Like we would have a session, and then we would go clean like the palace for an hour and a half. And then we'd have a session, and we would go play sports for 2.5 hours. But those of us on the organizing team started realizing the only ones showing up to do the service during the service section were the organizers. So we're not the sharpest people in the world, but we realized after a few days that this was not the best schedule, that the men coming here wanted a little downtime. So there's a little more free time than there has been officially in the past. And also we want to encourage all of you, we hope you'll want to come and participate in all the sessions, but it is the mantra retreat. So if you need to take some additional time and walk around the lake a little more, not here we understand, but at the same time we do hope you participate as best possible. I was asked by Raj, did y'all meet Raj when you came in at the Welcome Center?
Yes.
Okay, good. Was Raj on his best behavior?
No.
Okay, good. Raj is in charge of everything, and he's really good. We call him Reasonable Raj when he's being reasonable, and we have another name when he's not. So we hope that introductory experience was a positive one for you. He asked me to make a couple announcements. One is, if you have a roommate, especially if you don't know your roommate, please be respectful of your roommate. Raj told me last year, he was like, there was somebody outside 11 o'clock at night chanting japa, doing something. He was just wondering, who's your roommate? Does he know you're going to come in at midnight and you're going to turn the light on? And, you know, we all have those wonderful memories. Well, we don't. I have wonderful memories of living in the Brahmachari ashram, which basically meant Gurudas was there for part of that. Some of the Prabhus went to bed at 11:30, and some of the Prabhus woke up at 2:30. Which meant you had about 3 hours of nice sleep, and the rest of it was torturous. So we don't want you to have a torturous experience here, so please figure out what your roommate's hours are and be cooperative on that. Some of these are way in advance, but Sunday, the checkout when we're done is 11 o'clock. We've scheduled time for that, but Vrindaban asks that we get out on time so that they can plan for the next group of people coming in. The name tags that we have, we put a lot of work into these. Believe it or not, it's not so easy to stuff the name inside this little plastic tag. We want you to hang on to those. We can turn them in. We'll keep them till next year. Please wear them around here so people can get to know each other by name as much as possible. If you haven't checked in yet, you definitely need one of these badges. This pond out here. There are a couple crocodiles there. We asked them to come up and help us enforce the rules. Every now and then, we don't want to have to call them on you or your friends. All of the events will be here unless at the palace. As we talked about a couple events at the palace. And tomorrow night, we're going to be walking to Old Vrindaban. So that's a highlight. Looking forward to that. But otherwise, any of the sessions will be held here. The meals, we've been told, the meals are going to be in the prasadam room. We have our questions, because a couple times in the past, halfway through New Vrindavan decided, no, your meals are going to be in a different place, but for now, in the prasadam hall, except tonight in the palace. Okay? Definitely, again, you don't want to miss that. Those who have the blue tags, if there's any blue tags, you can stand outside and beg alms from anybody who comes out of the prasadam. There's no prohibiting that, but you will not get into the prasadam unless you have a blue tag. So unless you have an orange tag. So if you want to take part in this wonderful feast, see Raj. We mentioned where your name tags, the schedule where it's posted, and the timings that are there. I think that's all the housekeeping announcements we need to make. Just a little bit of background, and then we're going to give you a chance to kind of meet each other. Bhakti Marg Swami. How many of you know how many times Bhakti Marg Swami has walked across Canada? Who knows? I see 5 up. 5's wrong. Can't raise it. You got to fold in your thumb 4 times. Mar's first time was east to west?
West to east.
West to east, and then east to west, and then west to east, and then east to west. Okay, and then you get tired of all the bears up there, so you came down here, because we have black bears. We don't have so many big bears, except in a few places. Walked across the United States once to help commemorate the 50th anniversary of ISKCON. And when he did that, he was like really drawing the attention of a lot of less qualified people like myself that couldn't walk across Canada, couldn't walk across the United States, but I didn't join him for 3 days. And that was exciting. It was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful experience. And we talked about, men in Krishna consciousness, and maybe why don't we do some things? There was actually, when I was in Colorado, you remember there was the football coach of the University of Boulder team. Remember his name? Was McCartney? Yeah, not Paul, something else, right? And he was a Christian guy. And he organized these Christian retreats for men. He filled the football stadium with like 60, 70,000 people. So it was like, wow, that's a nice thing. They get together, men of faith in a particular tradition, and they inspire each other. So Marge and I started talking about it. We thought, well, we probably could fill a football stadium, but the quality's not so good. So let's go for the best. Let's go for the cream of the crop in a smaller number, and we'll do something new Vrindaban. So this is the 6th event we've had on that. And I think online, all the previous years, are they there, Part Approval, the previous topics and speakers and everything like that, if you look through? Had some great topics, and I mentioned the speaker is going to be this year. And the idea was, how do we inspire better association between men? I'm a Grahasta. My wife does a lot of coaching of young women. She's played, what do they call it, matchmaker in a few situations. And she, at least, this is serious now, she once a month tells me, there's so many nice girls. Where's the nice boys? Where's the nice men? And seriously, she seriously asked that. It was a big crisis for us because we know in the early years of our movement, There was tremendous emphasis on renunciation, and some of that was fantastic, a lot of that was a little premature. But these days we know that to be good devotees, the vast majority of devotees are going to be grahastas. We need good, strong families. We need good, strong, well-raised children with loving parents on both sides. And there's a need for that. So that was part of it too. How do we? Partha's going to talk about this, I think, about what does it mean to be really renounced. We know Arjuna's whole argument with Krishna was, "I'm out of here," to put it in modern Sanskrit. "I'm out of here, Krishna." And Krishna went on to tell him, "No, you're not. You need to stay here and do your duty and fight the good fight." So we're going to talk about some of those issues, and that came up. And to build very stronger friendship among ourselves and really become as strong as we can in Krishna consciousness. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but for me it's a struggle sometimes. I won't tell you how many times, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I won't tell you. Most of the time, almost all of the time, whatever. It depends on the day of the week and all that. But it's not so easy to be Krishna conscious, so we need to kind of give ourselves strength. And again, seriously, sometimes there's a sense in our movement, at least there was there in the early years, and I think it's still there, that once you've been a devotee for a certain period of time, you don't have human challenges anymore. And if you do, there's something wrong with you. But if you read Lilamrita and you look at the life of our founder Acharya, he faced a lot of human challenges. He faced a lot of difficulties, from physical to, even like it's described when he was in New York City. He used to go to the Scindia steamship liner's booth. Anybody remember his name is mentioned in the Lilamrita? The guy's name, can't remember right now. And he would go back and see when's the next boat going back. Because he was saying, this isn't working. It's not working. And then he would say, oh, okay, I'll stay a little longer. I'll try a little longer. And it's also described that the Prabhupada was gored by a cow. And he was asking, wonder why this happened. Why did this happen, Krishna? So we also sometimes face dilemmas and challenges and situations. We may wonder why, how, where do I get strength from? And a lot of times it means you call up a friend and you kind of get the strength to hang in there, continue chanting Hare Krishna, going on with the service. So we wanted to promote that kind of relationship and strength there. So I want to take just a couple minutes and ask everybody to do a little bit of a get to know one another as we have a few more members coming. I want everybody in just a minute, we're going to stand up, walk across the room, somebody you never met before. In fact, within the 5 minutes we have 2 people. Real quick things. My name is, I'm from, and what kind of work you do. Okay, a few of us are temple residents, great. Or otherwise we're a teacher or an engineer. Where I'm from, what kind of work I do, what my name is, and what's the one thing I'm hoping to get out of this weekend. Okay, and then hear from your partner. But somebody you don't know, don't just turn to the guy that you drove over from Toledo from or something. Okay, get up and move around, find somebody you don't know. Your name, where you're from, what kind of work you do, and what you hope to get out of this conference. And then find one other person. Because a big part of this is not to sit in our chairs with the 3 people we know. Like, I'm not going to talk to Krishna Das. I've known him for too many years. Okay? I'm going to find somebody that I haven't met yet. So, is that clear to everybody? Okay, just kind of quickly, because we really want to have a little mingling while we're here. Okay, so everybody get up, find somebody you've never seen.